Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, guys. My hair's a bit messed up. Hat's a bit messed up, which isn't anything new. Got a bit of a cold coming on, sore throat. Put in the comments if you guys got a sore throat, if you guys got a cold, make dua for each other. And give me some remedies as well. Anything. Honey, I've heard honey is good. Drinking honey in water, hot warm water. And mixing honey with pepper. I don't know. People come out with all sorts of things. Or should I have this? So, when I was in madrasa, I remember studying, and when I used to get ill, I used to remember, that was the times I used to remember home. I used to remember my mother's cooking and her medicines, and, her coming and asking about me. And over there, when I was studying, no one was asking except for some friends, mashallah. Yeah, they'd come down, they'd ask. And it's a sunnah as well of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that you visit the ill. Yeah, visiting the ill, and it has a big impact. Asking about how a person is. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned he would go himself and visit people who were ill. And the du'as, la ba'sa tahur. Yeah, don't worry, you'll get better, inshallah. And not to mention bad things as well. When a person is getting ill, don't worry, I've seen this happen before, and a person's died from this. You don't want to give the ill person negative thoughts. So speak good, say some good stuff to them. Anyway, besides that, I've got lots of marking to do. So I've got some marking there I haven't touched. Yeah, I've got marking. I've got some gifts there, some Umrah gifts. Some of the guys came back from Umrah, some students, mashallah, and they bought some gifts. So I'm gonna have to eat these dates and use these tasbih and miswak and scarf, and inshallah. Right, let me tell you guys a joke, because I heard someone said that I'm difficult to approach and people find it difficult to ask me questions. So let me try and break the ice with you guys. So how do you get a camel into a fridge in 3 steps? Think about this. How do you get a camel into a fridge in 3 steps? Okay, so number 1 is you open the fridge door. Number 2 is you put the camel inside. And number 3 is you close the fridge door. And that's 3 steps. Okay, how do you get an elephant into the fridge in 4 steps? Okay, think about this, think about it. So number 1, you open the fridge door. Number 2, take out the camel. Number 3, put the elephant in. And number 4 is you close the fridge door. 4 steps. So I hope that guys I hope that's helped you guys to be able to ask me questions and made me more approachable. The throat's getting a bit better. I had some honey. Alhamdulillah, one of the brothers, he gave me some local honey. A woman trying to find local honey, because they say that honey is only good for you if you get it locally. I don't know how true that is, because the bees are supposed to collect the pollen, and then that honey that's made from the local plants, that's the one that helps you, cures you of your illnesses. So inshallah, we'll see. Hopefully, unless I got this illness from Palestine, then obviously I'm going to need some Palestinian honey. Okay, today I got a question regarding private studies. So, would I advise private studies? How would private studies go about? Personally, I think private studies isn't for everyone. So some people, they really want to study privately with a teacher. And the reason I don't think it's for everyone is because sometimes what happens is when a person starts studying privately, then they'll have that contact with the teacher one-to-one, and they'll get their attention, and obviously they'll be able to learn a much kind of tailor-made kind of lesson, so the teacher can explain things to them at their level, and if they don't understand, they can repeat it. Whereas obviously if you're in a class, then what happens is you have to keep up with everyone else in the class, which can be a bit of a drawback for a lot of people. Some people might take time to understand certain things. So that's one of the benefits. But what tends to happen in private studies is students sometimes, number 1, they lose motivation. So you'll study for a few months, and then after a while, you kind of lose the motivation because you don't have any other students to compete with. And competition is good, healthy competition. You don't have that competition there. You don't have other students to, share your notes with, to go over things, and to motivate you as well. That's one. Second is, because you're relying upon one teacher, what tends to happen sometimes is that teacher can become preoccupied with something. He's a human being. He might get ill. He might even die. I mean, that's happened. My teacher was telling me once that he traveled, 2 or 3 days journey to study by one of the teachers in the village. And when he got there, he was on his deathbed. Yeah, so he's just about to die. So this is why, these kind of studies are sometimes quite problematic, studying alone. And the teacher might quit. Sometimes the teacher might not be committed. So unfortunately, you get these kind of things. You got to bear that in mind as well. But on the other hand, sometimes private studies are excellent, and the reason they're excellent is because you can get so close to a teacher. You can benefit tremendously from the teacher. So I mean, I personally like private studies. Yeah, that's the way I am. But some people out there might not like private studies. So if you're going to study privately with someone, always what I would suggest is try and do it bit by bit. Don't go full whack and say I want to study all of knowledge from one teacher. That's not a good idea, because sometimes one teacher might not be skilled in all the areas. Yeah, so a teacher might be skilled, let's say, in Arabic grammar, but he's not skilled in fiqh, or he might be skilled in fiqh, but he might not be skilled in hadith, like that. So you want to mix, you want to share, you want to be able to benefit from various different types of teachers. And this is something, a few words of advice I thought maybe I'll mention it to those of you guys who are interested in maybe studying privately. Me personally, I mean, I don't really have time to teach privately. My time's chock-a-block. But if there's people out there, I'm sure there's people out there that have time and willing to teach privately. You can find them, you can study by them, inshallah.